Hey, everybody. Good morning. What's happening? I'm here for another one of our webinars. And as usual, I'm posting it on the Facebook page so everybody else can see it. And today we're going to talk about Pajama Pooches. Hops is in her pajamas right now. Actually, all the dogs are in their pajamas right now. So get excited about that. I'm kind of in my pajamas. I have a sweatshirt on, so that's fun. We do have the chat feature here. Look, there's Hops in her PJs. Aren't you excited? Scoonie's in some PJs. Come here, Scoons. Look at him. Ah. Good morning, guys. What's happening? So it looks like we have 3 people. Hopefully some more people are going to join us. Schooner's getting wild in his PJs and Hops is coming over to say hi. So that's super cute. So we'll go ahead and get started as usual. I have my handy dandy notes on my phone so I can keep my focus on you guys. I am in the living room today because I figured that it would be a little crazy to put the dogs in pajamas in 90-degree weather and go outside. So my backyard is not the background today, but these 2 lovely dogs are. And then we've got Triple in the corner pouting because she has her PJs on too. So what is Pajama Pooches? So you guys might have figured out that Pajama Pooches is our sleepover program we're going to launch. You probably figured out when I asked you to vote on a name that we were going to launch a new program because I said we were going to launch a new program. And guess what? You guys all voted for Pajama Pooches. Staff voted too. That won by a landslide. So we went with it. I may have made a typo on Facebook and wrote Pajama Paws, but we are actually doing Pajama Pooches. So we're really excited about it. We're excited to launch it. It was supposed to launch April 1st with you guys. But unfortunately, because of everything happened, we're going to have to push the launch back. I don't have the date for it, but when I do, I'll definitely email it out because the way it works is we are actually going to test it out with you guys first before launching to the public. So this is going to be another community program, kind of like Hound Around Town, except you guys can take doggies home. It's similar to fostering, however, it's a short-term length with fostering. And Hops wanted you to know that she's snuggling. Look, if you take a dog home, you too can enjoy these snuggly little moments and be like, oh my gosh, I'm going to keep this dog. Just kidding. So it is going to be open in the community. So if you have friends, like if you're going to go tell everybody about this awesome program that we're launching, tell your friends because it will eventually be open to the community. And what are we going to do with it? So I'll tell you a little bit about the goals. And also there is a YouTube video some of you may have already watched. It's live on our channel now. So if you're like, what, I still don't understand what's going on. We do have that YouTube video that's going to be up on our website for when we get the website all launched and ready to go for you guys to sign up. But what are the goals of the sleepover program? So again, I did that sleepover field trip apprenticeship and I was in Charlottesville. And they had dogs going out. They were more focused on the weekend. So they're a little different than we are. They had longer length of stay. They still didn't euthanize for time or space, but their length of stay was closer to like 30 days. And they weren't as busy. Like they were busy on weekends, but they had enough population where they could send their pets home. So they really focused on the weekends for checkouts. We're going to focus on weekdays because our weekends are where we're slammed and we go off site all the time. So the goal is to get our long-term large breed, bully breed, the harder to adopt candidates out of the shelter. It could be seniors too that aren't necessarily a bully breed. It could be a dog that needs some behavior modification. So maybe you guys feel comfortable with modifying a dog's behavior and you want to take that on. We, of course, would give you the tips, tricks, trainings, and the things we want you to work on. Just if you guys saw a kennel card in the shelter, I really wish that Hops and Schooner would pop up and be a little more entertaining. Here, now they're in the shot. So anyways, we would do that for you guys. But the goal is to get the dogs out of the shelter. We want to get them enriched. We want them to not be as stressed out when they do come back to the shelter. Oh, what else do we want? We want the dogs to get exposure. We want them to be better behaved. All the things that Hound Around town does, but on a much bigger scale or longer scale because they're out of the shelter for a longer length of time. Don't worry though, it's just like fostering when you bring a dog or cat back. They might be sad for a second, but they're okay to come back to the shelter. So again, science is on our side that says when dogs go out of the shelter and come back, their cortisol levels or stress levels are a lot lower than they were before. And they never are higher than they are. They might be the same. But it's science. So the dogs are better off when they get a break from the shelter, even if they have to come back to it. That's why with open adoptions, I mentioned it's not a failure. It really isn't if we get a dog or cat returned. Oh, and always, if you guys have questions, make sure you use that chat bar on the side. So what else do I have? It is really like the dog will get exposure, obviously, because you guys can take the dogs out and about, just no dog parks or off-leash areas as normal. But you guys can go to breweries, restaurants, stores, anything like that, out for walks. So you guys are getting our dogs exposure. You're getting Pet Alliance exposure, just like you would with Hound Around Town. And there's also a survey at the end of this where you guys will actually kind of be like our researchers. So if you bring home a dog that we might not know a lot about, but that is a large breed dog, then you guys can take notes. You know, what does a dog like to do? What do they like to eat? Because some dogs are picky, or, you know, what are their favorite treats, stuff like that. And then if they do have any behavior issues in a home that we might not pick up on in a kennel, that is also very important. Is it something that adds to our volunteer hours? Absolutely, you will get volunteer hours for doing this. Once we launch the program, you'll definitely get volunteer hours. And it'll be similar to the fostering. So you will get 3 hours a day for every day that you have the dog. And we'll get into how long you can have the dog in a little bit. But yes, we want hours. So you guys get hours. So that's awesome. And then, of course, if you want to make any notes about the dog's personality, it helps us out if you don't necessarily have to take notes, but filling out that survey is very awesome for us. These guys are so boring. I don't know why they're so tired. Look at that. They know that we're talking about being in our PJs. So they were like, I'm not even going to wake up. So what is the process? So the dogs, we select them. Our staff, our behaviorist does. We make sure on our end that the dogs are okay to go out for a sleepover, basically. So when they come into receiving, our receiving department is where we get our dogs, our owner surrender dogs. Or if they come in from a transfer, our behaviorist has an actual sheet where they evaluate them for Pajama Pooches and Hound Around Town. So if they're checked off and good to go, then we'll also notate it on their kennel card with a little sticker possibly, or just a piece of paper that's laminated that says, or even on those whiteboards, we're talking about getting whiteboards. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. That says, I'm a Pajama Pooch dog. So that means that they can go on a sleepover. So we have discussed letting, once we open to the community, if we have that on there that they're a Pajama Pooch dog and somebody's interested to adopt the dog, then we have discussed letting them take the dog day of as well, as long as it's a weekday, because it is an opportunity that if you are interested in a dog, and again, it's those large breed dogs, those harder to adopt dogs, then it's an opportunity for you to take them home for a couple nights to see if it's going to work out. But the way it works is, so they have to be a year old. Excuse me. They have to be spayed and neutered, microchipped, up to date on shots. And then, of course, approved by our staff. So it's a little bit different than fostering in the fact that it's not puppies. It's not dogs under a year. It's not cats. Who knows? We may do that in the future. But for now, we're just going to do the dogs. Pickup's going to be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 5 o'clock and 5:30. So we have 2 time slots, which means potentially 8 dogs a week could go on a sleepover. However, if you pick your dog up Monday, well, I will say this, dogs have to be back on Friday by 5 p.m. So if you pick your dog up on Monday, you want to keep them all the way until Friday at 5 p.m., that's fine. If you pick your dog up Thursday night, then you just get them for one night, you bring them back by Friday. So there's no limit for you guys to sign up for this. It's if you want to sign up every week because you want a different dog at your house every week, you most definitely can do that. But that's when pickup times will be. You are sent home with the essentials, so you get a crate, collar. We'll send you home probably with a Weiss walkie, those crazy like harness leashes that we absolutely love to use that we send you home with or out with on Hound Around Town. You'll get treats, toys, any medication the dog might need, food bowl, water bowl, blankets, bedding, anything else that I'm forgetting, medical records, kennel card, anything like that. So that way, if you do have interest in the dog, whether you're out and about or at your home and your friends come over, then that way you have all that information there. You can fill them in, and we might even get adoptions out of this. So that would be absolutely fantastic too, which, by the way, I don't know if you guys have been paying attention. We have gotten a decent amount of adoptions while we've been doing this virtual adoption thing. So thank you if you guys have any pets at your home. We've all been super excited about it. Pops, I'm going to need you to perk up. Look at her. Say hi. Look at my PJs. I'm ready for a sleepover. So that's, like I said, you'll be sent home with all of that stuff, that equipment. And then if you do need tips on how to medicate a dog, or if the dog's on medicated shampoo or anything like that, we'll go over that with you. Let's see. So when you guys want to sign up, so let's back up before you're picking up. The sign up's going to be on the website. So you will not utilize Vulgistics necessarily, like you won't log into the back end and sign up for a shift. You're going to sign up on our website. So it'll be just like Hound Around Town. If you've ever seen that page, it's the public page. You go through, click on the link that says sign up, and then it'll have your dates and times there. It will look a lot like the Hound Around Town link. If you guys have ever used the public page to sign up for it, it'll look a lot like that. Let's see. And yes, while the dog is in your care, we want you to take videos. We want you to take pictures, just like if you were fostering or doing Hound Around Town. We want you to be the paparazzi for the dog. If you get anything that you want to share with us, please do. You can email us. But if you're going to post it on social media, post across multiple platforms. Use the hashtag Pajama Pooches, Pet Alliance, hashtag Pet Alliance, hashtag Pago. That's Pago. So that way people know, or you can always at Pet Alliance Orlando as well. And that way, if you are posting and people see your posts, they know, hey, this dog is at Pet Alliance. You can mention that too. Mention that we do Pajama Pooches. Don't be afraid to get the word out about the program because it is very beneficial for our pups. So what can you do when you're on your sleepover? Well, if you're like me right now, you can sit on the floor with your dogs that look so cute, cuddled up. Schooner has decided to put his paw on Hops. So this could be you just sitting on your fun rug that's in your house. Or you could sit on the couch with Triple. Triple doesn't look like she'd be very excited about it. You can watch a movie. You can watch TV. You can play video games. You can go outside and play fetch. Go for a walk. Go out and about. The only thing is no meet and greets with other dogs. So if you have dogs in your home, I know they are very cute. So if you have dogs in your home, then that's something that we'll discuss with staff. So when we are matching you guys up with your dog, when you're filling out the information on the website, it asks if you have dogs in your home, because some of our dogs are picky and they're meet and greet required with other dogs. And some of our dogs go along with all dogs. So I'm not saying that you can't do this. If you have dogs, you definitely can. It's just something, a couple other steps that we have to take with staff, because that'll determine which dog we pair you up with. Same thing, like if you have kids, we'll always make sure that it's a dog that's friendly with kids, or any other circumstances like that. Like if you have a restriction on bully breeds, obviously we will not send you home with a bully breed. If you live in an apartment and they have breed restrictions, we'll send you like a senior dog that looks like a lab or a shepherd or something like that. So it's really important to be truthful and honest when you're answering those questions on our website, because we want to match you up with the perfect dog for your sleepover. Hey, Celine, I see that you popped on there. Right on. Sorry, I'm jumping all over the place. So make sure when you guys are answering those questions on the sign-up sheet that you're 100% honest with us so we can match you up with the best pet. And if you don't feel comfortable with the dog that we give you, or we're going to match you up with, then let us know and we'll find a different one for you at the time of pickup. Again, just make sure no dog parks or off-leash areas. That's for the safety of you and for the safety of the dog in the community. Once you adopt a dog, of course, you can do whatever. Hops is trying to get out of her PJs now. She heard me. She said, I need to perk up. I'm not entertaining anybody. Look at that cutie. So what are the requirements? You probably have guessed this by now. You do have to be 18 to sign up for this program. Now, if you have kids that volunteer with you or need volunteer hours, they can absolutely get those volunteer hours for when you have your dog in for Pajama Pooch. You just have to be the one that signs all the paperwork, the waiver, all that jazz. And then they can get hours too. What are the other requirements? You have to be able to pick up and return within the windows stated. So if you say that you're going to be there at 5 o'clock on Tuesday, you do need to get there at 5 o'clock. If something happens where you get a flat tire and you're not going to make it, you can always call us as well. We do send you home with a sheet that outlines some emergency situations and what you should do, which I'll go over in a second. But what else do we have for you? Our requirements. When you are outside, so if you're outside walking the dog and the dog needs to be on a leash where you're going, make sure that you, the 18 and up person, has control of that leash at all times. We don't want kids to walk the dogs just for safety reasons. It's the same thing as Hound Around Town. There are a lot of similarities with Hound Around Town. Let's see, what are our other requirements here? Dogs are not allowed to interact with any other dogs except the ones in your home if they have completed a meet and greet at the shelter have been approved by staff. So that's at the staff's discretion. The dogs are perking up now for your guys' enjoyment. Yippee! Let's see, no dogs are off leash areas. All supplies must be returned when you guys return your Pajama Pooch. So if you guys forgot anything, you can always drop it off. Just make sure you get those to us because we do have like little set aside packs that we're going to be sending out with people. And those are important. We use them over and over again for this program. So like I said, there is an emergency contact info that we send home with you guys. So there are different circumstances that pop up and you might wonder, oh my gosh, what am I supposed to do in this situation? So we have a nice little table that outlines emergency medical situation, urgent health care or concern, or just a regular old health concern. So maybe you get sent home with some medication, you need help with it, don't be afraid to call. So we give you an email or some direct lines that you guys can call. Excuse me, watching the dogs in the PJs is clearly making me yawn. But we'll give you guys that information so you don't feel alone. And always my email is available. You guys all have that. So some situations that might be an emergency where you should go directly to the ER and then just notify us that you've done it. Difficulty or inability to breathe, seizure or loss of consciousness, uncontrollable bleeding, sudden non-weight-bearing lameness, persistence of vomiting, a swollen face, muzzle, eyes, sudden weakness or collapsing, intense pain or persistent screaming in pain, or if they got hit by a car or you witnessed any kind of damage. So if your dog gets attacked by another dog, anything like that, make sure that you go to the closest emergency vet. I'm not saying these things to scare you. I'm just trying to clarify what we would do in these instances. So if it's an urgent health concern, but you don't think it's an emergency and they look happy and alert, but you know something's wrong, then you just maybe want to give us a call. Or if you don't feel comfortable, you can't always go to the ER or the vet. Or if we are open, please bring the dog back to us. So if it's not an urgent concern of yours and you think you can make a drive over to Pet Alliance, we always first want to treat the pet. It is going to be the weekday, so we should have Dr. A there that can treat the pet. So it's Monday through Friday. She usually works Monday through Friday. So you guys can come to us if it's during our operating hours, and if not, we can figure it out from there. So if it's any like weird large open wounds that you can kind of control the bleeding, but you think we can suture back up, bring them in. If they kind of start vomiting but aren't vomiting all the time, if they seem like they have kennel cough, so coughing and sneezing and stuff like that, you can always bring them back to us and we'll check them out. What else? Like if you think there's any skin infections that weren't there before, any limping, but they can still kind of put weight on it, small amounts of blood in the urine, diarrhea that lasts longer than 24 hours, please bring them back in. So, and then of course, if it's any behavior situation. So if you at any point feel uncomfortable with the dog has blocked you in a room, the dog won't let you out, you can call us, we'll come and get the pet for you. Or if it's something where you think it's another behavior issue that you could talk to Christina about over the phone, you can definitely do that. Like if the dog has started eating your couch, that's why we give you a crate. But if it's something that you want to work on with the dog, if they have chewing problems, anything like that, that's why we have our behaviorists. So Sanford has Brandon, Orlando has Christina. So this chart kind of just maps out what you guys would do with these situations. And I did a quick version of it, but really, for the most part, it's easy peasy stuff. Hopefully we won't send you home with a sick dog necessarily. So if we don't think they're sick, they're probably going to be able to go home with you. If they start getting sick while they're in your car, your care, no biggie. And all my dogs have left me for the couch now. They're like, why would you sit on the floor? Do you guys want to sit over there? And that's really our Pajama Pooch program in a nutshell. So like I said, don't know when we're going to be launching this, but we're super excited about it. You can dress them up in clothes, dress them up in PJs. You can take fun pictures and onesies with them if you want. I have several onesies I'm sure you guys have seen. Does anybody have any questions about the program they want to ask? Is everybody excited about the program like I am? It really is going to be great because we're going to get our dogs out of the shelter at least for a break. And then when we are doing this process, because it is new, so if you guys decide to participate in Pajama Pooches and you think, oh, I bet it would work better if this, then let us know. If this is rolled out to the public, how do you ensure accountability? Kind of the same way we do with Hound Around Town. So there is a lengthy waiver that everybody has to sign. And so it kind of says like, hey, I agree to bring the dog back. I know it's not my property. I'm going to abide by all these rules and regulations and things like that. And that's too, not that I'm saying that people don't steal bully breeds, but that's why we're not going to send out, like if we get a border collie or, a highly desirable golden doodle, unless these breeds have really bad behavior issues and we want somebody to work with them, then we might. But it's really going to focus us on those large bully breeds and sending them out. So the waiver, and then also we get their driver's license information. So if they don't bring the dog back, we really could report them to county as the dog is missing because they signed something that says this dog's going to be back on Friday by 5 o'clock. And if they're not, then we too will call them and email them and try and contact them before we go and take any actions. Does that answer your question, Pat? Hopefully. We just kind of try and put our trust in the community. Some other places that have done this, they have only lost one dog. The place that I went to on my apprenticeship, and they ended up finding the dog. It was just that the person had lost the dog and then they found it, but they were scared to call the shelter, that kind of thing. And then they actually ended up adopting the dog. So we just kind of put our faith in the community, kind of like we do with when we recruit fosters and everything. We put it out there. We have a video, so we do some training. And then you also do talk to an adoption staff member when picking up. So we try and set everybody up for success. Would puppies be included? Celine, that's a good question. No, puppies would not be included. So if you guys are wanting to have puppies in your home, then I would highly suggest signing up to be a foster, because that is where Susan will work with you in Orlando, or Beth will work with you in Sanford and get you some puppies in your home, because we usually don't have a shortage of that. Look, Hops is like, where are the puppies? These are good questions. Any other questions, concerns? If at some point, like if you signed up, our wish is to have the sleepovers last 48 hours. So if you pick up Monday, the general expectation is that you would bring the dog back on Wednesday. If for some reason something comes up and you can't take the dog all the way to Wednesday, you can always cut it short. Just let us know, and we will take the dog back, of course. If for some reason you get home on Monday night and don't feel comfortable with having the dog in your house because the dog is chewing all your things or exhibiting some behaviors that don't sit right with you, you can always give us a call too. We can either pick the dog up or somebody can meet you at the shelter if you bring the dog back. So it's not like we're going to force you to keep the dog longer than you would like to keep the dog. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Oh, I will show you guys our cute little logo that we have that I had made up. This is our Pajama Pooches logo that we had made so that you guys are going to see that on any of our collateral that has to do with Pajama Pooches. I thought it was really cute. Wags and Whiskers are wearing nightcaps and little PJs. So we are trying to have fun with it because we know it is an exciting program. It is super cute. I would totally wear a shirt that had this on it or PJs. So if you guys see that pop up, that's why. Hops, do you have anything for the good of the order? Hops just wants her PJs off. Let's get real. Any other questions, you guys? I know this was kind of a quick and dirty version of what's going on and what's to come. I cannot wait to launch this program. I was really excited to do it, and then the world exploded. So when the dogs are out, is there a sign on their kennel that says, I'm out on a pajama pooch? Yes, yes, yes. That's a great question, Pat. We will have a sign that says, I'm out doing pajama pooches. And they'll still be available on the website. I don't believe that we're going to make them unavailable. So that way, if somebody does call, it'll say, oh, yeah, I'm still available. I'm doing pajama pooches. And then we could potentially build off our virtual meet and greets with Zoom if somebody wants to reach out to the person that has that dog for a sleepover. So there's all sorts of things. That's why we're going to test it out with you guys, see how it works. And we're really excited to launch the program, give you guys some different opportunities, and it's a little less time commitment than fostering. So we really do think it's going to be beneficial to the dogs, and we think a lot of people will really enjoy it because there are people out there that can't commit to long-term fostering or even adopting, especially people that travel, so they can get their dog fix and help us out at the same time. So we're really excited. Thank you guys so much for joining me this morning and asking awesome questions. I'll ask one more time. Yes, sweet. Does anybody have any other questions? Everybody's good to go, it sounds like. All right, guys. Well, this has been another awesome webinar with yours truly and all of my dogs who always make it much more exciting than if it was just my face on the camera. They're excited to do these webinars and be little representatives as well because they are such good dog models. And especially today, they have demonstrated what your dog would probably be doing a good chunk of the time if you take them out on a Pajama Pooches. So thank you guys. Have an awesome Tuesday. Don't forget, we have one coming up this Thursday. It's TNR. So if you guys want to learn about trap, neuter, release, Kathy Hood will be on there with me. We're doing it through Zoom. So you guys have a great day, and I will hopefully talk to you guys soon, and you might see me soon. All right, you guys, take care.